Now we're going to make a crochet bunny tail. Instead of the pom-pom, you have the option of making a little tail like this one, which is crocheted. And some people prefer this because it's a pom-pom can pull out a lot easier, especially if the bunny's for a small child. This one is much more secure, whereas with a pom-pom all the bits can pull out if you've got little fingers trying to pull at it. So that's the crochet tail. So we're going to show you how to make one of those. The pattern is available as a free download from weewillywonderfuls.com. So if you look at the PDF section or just type in the search box bow or bunny tail, this is an alternative version and it has the pattern for both the bunny tail and also the crocheted bow as well. So you've got some different options. So we're going to make that now. So it'd be handy if you download that, so no cost for that. So how we're going to do that, we're going to make our magic circle, and I'll zoom in so you can see closer what I'm doing. So to make it, we're going to do a magic circle with 6 double crochet stitches. So I'm just going to go ahead with this because we have done this quite a few times, and there is a separate video for the magic circle should you not be able to do one as yet. So we have 6 double crochet stitches, and we're going to close our magic circle. On the pattern there is also a crochet bunny tail and a crochet bunny bow for the baby bunny. So they're included. They're very similar, just slightly less stitches. But if you can watch the video for this one, you will be able to make the other one. Just download the pattern, and again, it's on there. So we're going to do 6 increases. So round 2 is increase times 6. So we're going to go into our next stitch. And we're going to do 2 double crochets in each. And we're going to repeat that 6 times. So we're going to have 12 stitches by the end of this round. That's 12. And I'm going to put my marker on just so that I know where I'm up to. And our next instruction is double crochet increase times 6. So in our next stitch we're going to do a double crochet, and in the next stitch we're going to do an increase, which, as you know, is 2 double crochets in the same stitch, then a double crochet, and then another increase, and we're just going to continue like that all the way back to our marker, and we'll have 18 stitches by the end of this round. Nope, you can hear my wool just unraveling itself. So 2 in this one, and then 1 last repeat, which is 1 double crochet, and then 2 in the next stitch. So we're on our 18 stitches, so I'm just going to move the marker again at the end of that round. And our next instruction, round 4, is just double crochet. So that's just 1 double crochet in each stitch. So we're just going to find our first stitch and just do 1 in each. That's 18 in total. If you need video tutorials for any of these, on our YouTube channel, there are separate video tutorials for the double crochet, the increase, the magic circle, so you can follow all of those if you need that. So 1 double crochet in each. You can also do the tail in a different colour if you prefer as well. But we're just going to do it in grey for our grey bunny. So that round is completed. Move our marker again. And then row 5 is decrease times 9. So we're just going to do lots of decreases. So every single one a decrease. So like we normally do with the invisible decrease, we're going to grab the front loop of each stitch, pull through and then pull through again. So the next one's a decrease. Next one's a decrease. You're just literally decreasing all the way around. And then we'll have our lovely cute bunny tail. That one. Just lifting up there. I couldn't see which one was next. It's a little bit tricky when you're doing lots of decreases because you sometimes just can't quite see where your next stitch is. So if you're not sure, obviously count from the back. Let's have a look. Right. Getting there, a few left. And then we'll do a slip stitch and fasten off at the end, which just gives us a more even edge. So we're going to go into the next stitch, pull through and then pull through our loop. And I'm just going to leave a bit of a strand, trim that off. So we'll trim that here. We don't have to leave a very long strand because we're just going to need to sew the tail on with it. Put our thread through the loop, not the one from the centre, which is what I've just tried to do. The one from the centre you can either cut off or just pop inside. I'm just going to pop that inside the bunny tail, and then we're going to put the thread through the loop. There it is. Oops. So that's just gone through just to fasten it off. Strand from the beginning is just going to get tucked in. There we go. And then we're just going to pop a bit of stuffing in there. So you can see a little bunny tail. Look at that. Very cute. So we're just going to have a little bit of stuffing. We've still got some left in our kit. There's usually a little bit extra. So we're going to pop that in. So we're stuffing our little bunny tail. Don't need lots in. There we go. A little swish around, get a round shape. If you find it's a little hexagonal, you can pop your fingers in and just stretch it out a bit. It's just where you've done the increases. There we go. So now what we're going to do is, come here little bunny, trying to run off. That's where your tail's going to go. So just on the back there. I usually put the strand at the bottom, the base, and we just have the tail right in the middle. Just make sure you're central and just above the top of the legs around there. And I'm going to pop a couple of pins in just to hold it secure and make sure that it's not moving around. If I can find any. I seem to have lost my pins. What have I done with them? I have actually lost them. Ah, there we go. We have them. We have them back. Right, so we're going to pop a couple in. It's quite big, so I can put them right through. If you've got a smaller pins, you might just want to put them nearer the edges. Then we're going to thread our needle. So I'm just threading the needle. And then we're just going to sew that on. So just make sure it's central. And we're going to do exactly the same as we do when we're sewing on a limb. So we're going to do one little stitch on the bunny and then just parallel with it through one stitch on the bunny tail. One stitch around a stitch wide on the bunny. Just keep them as close as possible. So when you're doing the stitch on the tail, you're putting it very close to where you've come up here. And when you do the stitch on the bunny, as close to the edge of the bunny tail as you can. So we're just keeping them all neat and all together. and pop a stitch in there, so under stitch wide, and then we're going to put a stitch in here. So we're just going to go all the way around, just gradually, every 2 or 3 stitches, just pull it up. And again, this is another part that could get pulled around a little bit by little hands. So if the bunny's going to be a little one, oops, fastened on our pin, I would suggest going round it twice. So we're trying to sew on by around the base here. 1 stitch there. Keeping our stitches quite close together. We don't want them too gappy because we may end up with little gaps where the stuffing can come out. I'm just going all of the way around. I'll just go around once, but say if it's for a little one, go around twice just for extra safety to make sure it's nice and secure. A little stitch on there, followed by 1 stitch on here, and we're all the way around now, but I'm just going to carry on, overlap the stitches by a couple of stitches. Right, pull it securely, just make sure it looks in position, take the pins out and then give it a wiggle around just to make sure it feels like it's nice and secure, and have a look around the edge, make sure there aren't any obvious gaps. If there are, we could at least go back and put an extra few stitches in. That'll look secure. So I'm going to go in exactly where I've just come out and come out a few centimetres away. Back in and back out. And we're just doing this to lose our thread and to make sure it's nice and secure. So we're going to pull it slightly, trim it like so, and then have a look at little bunny's tail. So let's zoom out so we can have a look, see how that looks. Ah, there it is, very sweet. So that's our little bunny tail. And so if you haven't got that pattern, just go to weewillywonderfuls.com and type in bow or bunny tail, or just go to there's a section PDFs, so you can just go into there and you'll see it and just order it as normal, but there's no cost. That's a little free pattern for you. Enjoy making your bunny tail.